And if you're saying you can't make any
Well, I just speak some
comments,
Arabic.
you can't
But Arabic's
make
not the
any
question here, is it?
comments on Quran or the Bible because you don't speak Hebrew. I don't believe that. I believe God is not just a Hebrew God.
كن سعيدا كن فريدا عش بفخر في الحياة لا تبالي فالمعالي بالتحدي لا سواه كن سعيدا كن
Let me just finish. No, I haven't really. So the crucial point to get here, because the tense makes this clear. This is not. Well, I will in a second, but you haven't addressed any of my points, interestingly. You haven't addressed anything I've said at all. You've just gone to another subject. No, but it's not a prophecy. No, hang on a second, let me finish. Okay. But in abstract, what is prophecy like? Is it talking about the future, prophecy?
The prophecy in its strictest terms
Right.
is to testify of God. It's a
Right.
prophecy.
So in this sense, is this a prophecy of the future? The past, it is. And so when it says a child has been born to us in the time of Isaiah, this is talking about the future. Yeah?
It's a dual. This prophecy has a dual. Sometimes these words can have a dual fulfillment.
Right. So when it says has been born, what tense is that? Is that past, present, or future tense?
That's past.
But you're saying it refers to the future. So you're saying a past tense refers to a future.
Yes, because it
Yes.
refers to an event that has happened. Yes, sir, I am. Because an event.
You need to explain that to me, because if I say, okay,
The event has happened.
yeah.
Prophecy often foreshadows something that is coming. It often has a dual nature. It talks about the concrete
Right.
in order to try to explain to
How do you
us-
get that from all this passage? Where does it say in this passage? Are you clear, by the way, that
Because
this?
time and time again throughout,
Okay.
people
In this
shadow
passage-
things that have happened to show us what will happen in the future.
Okay. Are you clear though in the passage the primary meaning, allowing your secondary meaning, the primary meaning refers to an individual during Isaiah's lifetime? Are you clear on that? Even allowing your sensus plena.
Yes and no, because
Yes
maybe the
and
first
no.
part-
Well, what's the
maybe
no
first-
part?
Maybe the first, maybe it's verse 6, but in
Right.
verse 7, it's clearly talking about talking about eternity. It says
Okay.
in that part-
So verse 6 does primarily, you concede now, does primarily refer to an individual baby who was born during the reign of Isaiah.
Yes.
You do, right. Whew, we got there. So you accept that for a child has been born to us, given to us, his name is Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Father, refers to a baby thousands of years before Jesus and not to Jesus primarily.
I thought she misunderstood.
Ah, okay.
So tell us where anyone in the entire Bible calls Jesus Almighty, wonderful, was it? Wonderful Counselor,
Counselor,
or
Wonderful, Everlasting
or
God, Prince
the
of
Father,
Peace, Mighty
Everlasting
God.
Father.
Well,
Who calls Jesus Everlasting Father?
So what's the query here? Can I just jump in? Is that okay?
You can. We were just.
We were just asking.
Well, I was just establishing that many people are called God in the Bible, and therefore, for someone to call God in the New Testament, it's not proof that they are God, that they are Yahweh in itself, because there are many other instances of human beings, prophets, and so on, being called God in the Bible. So, in and of itself, that's not a conclusive argument. You need to bring other evidence. So I'm still speaking. Yes. So you're going to talk over me anyway. Hello. Hello. Sorry.
So my understanding is that you're saying that there's so many other instances where other people are called God. Is that what you're saying?
I'll repeat what I just said. I thought I wasn't being very clear at all. I'm saying that when someone in the New Testament calls Jesus God,
I'm just going to put this here.
okay, that in itself does not mean, it's not sufficient evidence to prove Jesus was God, given that there are many other instances in the Bible where other people are called God as well. That in itself is not a sufficient argument to prove, in inverted commas, that Jesus claimed to be God or someone else claimed him to be God.
Okay, so what you're talking about
It doesn't prove it.
So how does this relate to Isaiah 9:6?
You
I
have to
think the
ask her. It's
question
her
we were
example.
asking more specifically is that it says in there he will be called Everlasting Father. The question I asked is, where in the Bible did anyone call Jesus an Everlasting Father?
Okay, so can I read the
That's a different issue,
Yes.
and although it's a
I'll
good
read the
point.
verse and I'll tell you why it's Jesus. Okay, is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah? So,
Going back in time.
Isaiah 9:6. So the first thing we need to understand, what did the earliest Jewish, what did they understand this verse to be? And if you
Yes.
look into the earliest Jewish writing, this is known to be a messianic verse. And I'll
Oh
tell
right.
you why.
Okay. Which writings are you referring to?
Hang on just a minute, okay?
Okay.
I'll tell you why in a second. For unto us a child is born. I'll come back to that question. unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God. So the Hebrew word that's used there is El Gibor. Okay? So first,
You know Hebrew, do you?
No, let me finish my point.
Okay.
So El Gibor, so you're going to show
Just
me...
bring someone elsewhere.
Sorry?
There's a
Bring someone elsewhere. So you can continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for your time. What's your name? Wendy?
So if you're going to show me anywhere else, anyone apart from Yahweh, is the word El Gibor.
I don't know Hebrew. I can't tell you that. I don't know Hebrew.
So I'll tell you no one else.
No, I can't. But you know, do you know Hebrew, by the way? Do you know Hebrew?
That's not the point. The point is,
No,
I'll tell
okay.
you, if you challenge me, then you're going to have to show me.
Okay.
El Gibor is a name used only for Yahweh.
Okay, how do you know this?
I know because I've read the scripture.
Right, can I ask you a question now?
And if you're going to counter it,
Okay.
you're going to give me a verse in the Bible that uses the word El Gibor
I can't.
from anyone
I don't know
else
Hebrew.
apart from Yahweh.
I don't know Hebrew.
Well, there is none, okay?
No, can I ask you a question?
No, let me finish my point, okay? So, let me finish my point.
Can I ask you a quick question
This
that's
son-
relevant to this? Can I ask you a quick question
Yeah,
relevant to
quick
this?
question.
Do you know Hebrew?
So the point is, I don't need to know Hebrew.
No, I'm asking you a question.
That's
Do you
why
know
they're
Hebrew?
translators.
She can
Okay.
Okay.
So, could you kindly answer the question? Do you know Hebrew?
No, what's your point?
You don't.
What's your point?
My point was to ask you, do you know Hebrew?
Okay.
And you've now answered. You say you don't know. I don't know Hebrew, you don't know Hebrew. So you're making a point about Hebrew in the Old Testament without knowing Hebrew yourself. And I don't know Hebrew, so we're both equally ignorant.
You've also made points though on this
About what?
domain,
Yeah, so-
about what's in Hebrew and what's in the original Testament.
So
I have, because it's well
You don't
known.
know Hebrew, so why can you make points?
No, because she's
based on the Hebrew?
okay.
and
Good
you
point.
don't
Let me
know
explain.
Hebrew,
Because
we can't make points based on the Hebrew.
no, because she is rightly exposing my. I am ignorant of Hebrew. She's exposing my ignorance by this word. This word is called.
No, so are you trying
What's
to
this called
say-
word
no,
again?
No, no. You're
No, this word.
distracting. Let me finish my point.
I'm
then you can
distracting.
break- yeah, you
Okay.
are
What is
distracting.
your point, by the way?
So my point is,
Okay.
this son, remember
Yeah.
it's saying a son is being called El Gibor.
I don't know that. I can't verify that.
And the Hebrew word.
I can't verify
I'll
that,
give
I'm
you
afraid.
time next week. You can go and look.
No,
for
I'm not going to
anywhere
learn
else
Hebrew in the next
scripture.
7 days. I'm sorry.
Okay, you can say, go and find out. There's Hebrew scholars you can find out, or Jewish
Okay.
scholars,
Okay.
and you tell me anywhere El Gibor. The word El Gibor is
What's the word
used
El
for any-
Gibor mean?
El Gibor means mighty God. It's a translator El Gibor.
Okay.
And it's only used to describe Yahweh. So that's the first point.
How do you know it's only used to describe Yahweh?
Because there's no other description of El Gibor apart
How
from
do you know
Yahweh.
that? You don't read Hebrew.
Because I've read through the Bible. If you're disputing
In
that-
Hebrew?
Yes. If you're
You've read the Bible in
excuse me,
Hebrew and you don't know
If
Hebrew.
you're disputing that,
I don't understand. You know that nowhere else in the Bible has this word because you read the word in Hebrew, but you don't understand a word of Hebrew. And this is evidence, hang on, because this is evidence against my position that this is not logical.
She's referred to an interlinear.
Have you?
Which has the English and the Hebrew.
Have you? Have you referred to
And then you
interlinear?
can refer to Hebrew.
No, do you know this lady? No, seriously, have you met her before in your life?
so do you see?
No, seriously.
Is that what you do?
Let me tell you. No, do you know what? Do you know
Hang
what?
on. Seriously, you've never met this woman before, have you?
Okay,
And you're
pause.
saying, have you met this
Let me
woman
find
before?
this.
I'm just saying that's
Pause.
how
No,
I
don't
refer to
respond.
But you're
Pause.
saying she has read through an
Pause.
interlinear,
Let's
but you've
time
never
this.
met her before in your
This is
life.
what Paul
How
likes
can
to
you make
do.
these
He likes
claims?
to- I'm making a point. You like to distract the point. Do you want to have a time conversation? Because I'm going to make my point. You're not going to distract from me, and don't go around circles. If you're trying to say because you don't speak Hebrew, you don't speak Arabic.
No, I don't.
And if you're saying you can't make
Well, I
any
just speak some
comments,
Arabic.
you can't
But Arabic is not
make
the
any
question here, is it?
comments on Quran or the Bible because you don't speak Hebrew. I don't believe that. I believe God is not just a Hebrew God.
Okay.
He's the God of everybody.
At what point can I speak,
And
by the
there
way?
are- No. So I'm making a
When
point.
can I speak, by the way?
I'm making a point and don't distract
Yeah, but
me
when can I speak, by the way?
when I finish my point.
Well, what do you make your point? You've been making it
I've
quite...
not been making... No, because you've been distracting. You've been
It's
distracting.
interrupting. We very, you know,
You're very generously giving me all this time.
we listen to you.
You are very kind of you. Thank you.
So-
Thank you very much indeed. I'm
So I would
touched.
like to show you why this scripture has been known by early Jews as Messianic.
Which early Jews?
The earliest Jews. I can give you examples.
Please
but
do.
I'll come back to that.
Give me a reference, please.
I'll give you a reference, and I'll come
Because
back to
I
that.
doubt very much what you're saying is true.
I will give you a reference that will
Okay.
disprove.
Could you give me a reference now, please?
No, I want to make my
Okay.
point first. Okay.
What is your point?
My point is.
Because I'm still waiting what
First
your
of
point
all,
is.
the mighty God is used for the Son, El Gibor. If you can show me anywhere else, anyone else apart from Yahweh, that the word El Gibor is used for.
But I don't speak
then
Hebrew.
that disproves
I don't
the point.
speak
Okay,
Hebrew.
so you
But
can't.
you speak Hebrew.
The second point.
But you don't speak Hebrew either, so how can you ask me to disprove something that you yourself don't understand anyway?
One second.
I don't understand the logic of this. Hang on, you made one point. There's a second point now. There's a second point. Hang on, can I make a point now, please?
No, wait, let me answer that. So the second
I'd like to
point
answer
is-
that point, please.
No, let me finish.
No, you said you make your point. You've made your
Let me
point.
finish.
Now I'd like to
No.
make...
So the second point is that.
The second
we
point?
can
How many
easily
points have
know-
you got, by the way?
We can easily know that this is Messianic.
How many points has she got?
From verse 7, it says, after you can see verse 7, it says, there will be no end on the throne of David over his kingdom to establish it and to uphold it with justice and with righteousness from time forever. So who else sits on the throne of David? The Messiah, the son of David.
Have you finished? Can I speak now?
Finish my point.
Right.
So-
Let me ask you a question. So you don't speak Hebrew, you don't read Hebrew, do
No,
you?
I don't.
Okay. And so your claim about having investigated the entire Hebrew Bible, you've read it all, you say, is actually a lie.
Okay, so I'm saying I don't know Hebrew.
But you said you read the Hebrew Bible from beginning to end.
When did I say I read the Hebrew Bible?
Did she say that she had read the Hebrew Bible?
You
Eyewitnesses.
misunderstood me, no.
You have 5
I
witnesses
did not
that
say-
you have read, and it's on camera.
And you guys are lying. I said I've read the
Oh,
Bible.
in
I've
Hebrew?
read the Bible. No, I've not read the Hebrew
Okay.
Bible.
So how do you know your claim is true?
I know my claim is true because there are Hebrew scholars you can refer to. There's the Bible. you
Which
can
which
read.
ones?
No,
Which
wait.
ones?
There's something called the Blue Letter Bible, where you can the lexiconic Bible, where you can look at the Hebrew words. You can look at where, and you can do a search if you don't know.
I don't know.
Go on the Blue Letter, and you can do a search for the word El Gibor, and you can see wherever the word El Gibor is mentioned in the Bible.
Are there any other words used of Yahweh in the Old Testament?
No, but this is my point. My point
Okay.
is
No,
El
no.
Gibor-
You say your point is no longer the issue here.
It
I'm
is the
speaking.
issue.
No,
It is the issue.
it's not the issue.
So are you going to show me where
No.
else El Gibor is used?
Well, as I said, but you also didn't hear me. Sorry, folks, I'm not clear. I do not read Hebrew. You didn't hear me the last 5 times I said that. So you're asking me to do something I can't do.
But you can easily do that.
Can I?
You can easily
Let me. It's my turn to speak. So, are there any other names of deity that are used of Yahweh in the Old Testament that you know of? Well, you don't. Not Hebrew words. You don't read Hebrew, but that you know of,
Yahweh.
other than Yahweh. Is he called anything else?
No, you can remind me. El Gibor.
No, I'm asking you. No, apart from that,
That's the ones that come
that's
to
the
mind.
only name for God you know in the entire Bible.
That's the one that comes
Wow,
to mind,
right.
yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to point out now, because you weren't here earlier on, that many other individuals are called God in the Bible, in the Jewish Bible, that they receive worship from Israel, that they sit on the throne of Yahweh. Are you familiar with these passages? Let me share one. Let's go through a few with them. 1 Chronicles, chapter 29, I mean. And in the King James Version, it actually says that all the Israelites worshipped Solomon along with the Lord God. Then David said to the whole assembly, verse 20, bless the Lord your God. And all the assembly blessed the Lord, that's Yahweh, because it's got L-O-R-D in small letters, the God of their ancestors, and bowed their heads and prostrated themselves before Yahweh and the king. Now, in the King James Version, this says worshipped. They worshipped Yahweh and the king. And then it says in verse 23, then Solomon sat on the throne of Yahweh, succeeding his father as king. So here we have a man who receives worship, sits on Yahweh's throne. Okay? Wow. Who else in your theology? Of course, Jesus does that. He sits on the throne of God, at the right hand of God, and receives worship along with God in your theology. Let's look at another example of human beings being called God. Psalm 45. Would you like to look it up? Psalm 45, verses 6, 7. The addressee here is the king. Your throne, O God, endures forever and ever. Your royal scepter is a scepter of equity. You love righteousness and hate wickedness. Therefore, God, your God, has anointed you. So God here is addressed as the king of Israel, is addressed as God, and then he says he has a God. And this reminds me of the passage in John's Gospel where Jesus apparently says, I am returning to your Father, your God, and my God. Even though Thomas had called him God, Jesus acknowledges that he has a God. Quite a similar kind of dynamic going on here. Psalm 82, which Jesus, of course, quotes in John chapter 10, which says to the judges, ye are as gods, ye are gods. The Psalms, the judges of Israel themselves are called God. Exodus chapter 7, verse 1. In Hebrew, see, I'm quoting Hebrew, Moses is called Elohim, directly.
But do you speak Hebrew then?
No, I
Do you
don't.
know then?
I just know a couple of words. I know a few Arabic words. I know inshallah, I know alhamdulillah, I know Allah Akbar.
I couldn't make a point.
But the
because
word
I
is
don't
in the
speak
Bible
English.
itself.
Okay,
Elohim is
so what's
written
the
there.
difference between what he's
Yeah, but Al-Gabor is not in the Bible.
Because you claim to have read the whole Bible in Hebrew, and that was a lie.
No, I didn't make that
It's
claim.
on camera.
You're lying.
No, it's
You're
on.
lying. I'm
Friends,
saying to you now,
when this
I
goes
have-
on YouTube, you can point her out with an arrow saying L-I-A.
You are lying. I've read the Bible, but I've not read it.
Well, you said you had. Okay,
You are
you're no, I'm not. It's on camera. Everyone witnessed
are
it.
lying.
Everyone here is
You either
lying.
misunderstood me or you're lying.
Okay. That's very modest of you to admit you hadn't made a mistake. So, you agree that human beings can sit on the throne of Yahweh and receive worship from Israel, and the Bible said, do you accept that happened, yeah?
Can I respond to you?
Yeah, let's go through Chronicles
You've gone
29
through,
first.
You've gone through 2 scriptures or 3 scriptures. But Paul, when I walked into here, you were talking about Isaiah 9:6, and you were saying this can't be God, this can't be Jesus, and this can't be God.
I didn't say it can't be God, I said it is God.
It can't be Jesus.
Can you address...
No.
Are you going to address the my passage?
No.
You're not...
Can I respond to you?
Yeah,
I
can you...
believe she is trying
can
to
I
address your
respond to you?
passage. She's saying that this is a passage that you've already
All right.
read. So
I
want to respond to you, please.
Are you going to respond to this passage?
Yes,
1 Chronicles.
This conversation, you are not going to... What you're doing is you are diverting. You spoke, I didn't
No.
interrupt you.
Let me explain what I'm trying to do here. Let me explain to you.
let her speak. We've all heard you speak quite a while now. Let her speak.
Okay.
When I came into a conversation...
Are you going to deal with these passages I
Let
mentioned?
her speak.
I came into a conversation. No, I need to respond. I came into a conversation where they were talking about Isaiah 9 and saying this can't be Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Because first of all, many people are called mighty God.
It doesn't mention Jesus.
Yeah. So my response, that was the conversation I came into.
Yeah.
That's the conversation I came in, and I came to you to say, show me where in the Bible
Yeah.
the word El Gibor
I don't read Hebrew.
was used.
Do you not know I don't read Hebrew?
Let me finish. Please.
I can't show you that.
Where the word El Gibor is used any other
Yeah.
apart from Yahweh and the Son in this passage.
Okay.
You should admit either you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay,
And you don't know either,
So
because
I'll
you
tell
don't read
now-
Hebrew. You
I'll
don't know
tell you
either.
now that there's no other
She might
place.
know a few words just like you
No,
do.
but she doesn't know Hebrew.
No, you made a claim that you knew something because you knew a few
She's read the
words in
whole
Hebrew.
Bible and checked.
She
Have
might
you
know
checked the
something
whole
because
Bible?
she knows
Have
a
you
few
read the
words
whole
in
Bible
Hebrew.
to check this is
Why
true?
are you creating a double standard?
There's a way where you can check. There's something called the Blue Letter Bible. There's strong numbers.
Right. Well, I haven't
There's
checked
a-
that. I would need to
So
check
I'll
it.
give you time next week.
But I'm not sure what this proves.
Wait,
It doesn't prove anything.
Okay, I'll tell you now.
Because there
Well,
are
let her
many.
speak. She's trying to prove the point. Let her
Let me
speak.
finish my point. So the point is, there's no other place in the Bible where the word El Gibor
Well, so you
is
claim.
used
So you
to
claim.
describe Yahweh.
So what?
Other than the Son.
But why does that matter?
Okay.
Well, why does that
So
matter?
I'll tell you why that matters. So if you're disproving me, you then need to bring a proof to counteract me. So that's what I'll tell you now. So,
No, but why does this matter?
so
Well,
it
why is this an
matters-
issue?
It matters because
Sorry, no.
El Gibor is used only to describe Yahweh.
I'm asking you. I said excuse
Stop
me.
attacking him.
You're pushing.
You
You're
said it's
pushing.
Muslim behaviour. Look at the Muslim behaviour.
What a bigot you are. What a bigot. This is how bigoted she is. This man pushes and she says Muslim behaviour.
Nobody was pushing. Calm down. Nobody was pushing.
Yeah.
To get in.
Well, you push all the time. You're a classic pusher yourself.
Speaker's corner is hitting up.
Whoa, he's touching my pockets. Sorry. Yeah.
It's hitting up in speaker's corner. I see where the
It's the heat.
videos
It's the heat. It is heat.
So maybe. But that new trend of video, like a soccer films, you saw those on YouTube. I think these guys are the origin, but I'm not sure. Where they expose every Muslim, saying a Muslim cannot answer this question, and Muslims are run away, and so on.
It's true with me. I can't answer all questions. It's true. I can't answer all questions. Occasionally, I don't. It's true.
But they use those specific moment in order to put it in the title.
But it's true.
In
We
order
don't.
to diminish the Muslims. That's
we-
what they're doing. There's
No,
a
but I have
huge
no problem with that. We don't know all the answers. So I don't have a problem with that. But the problem is it would backfire on them because often they don't know the answers.
Jesus! Here we are. Representing the Lord.
So can you address 1 Chronicles 29 and Psalm 45 and Psalm 82, where all are no, we're moving on from that now. Moving on from that.
Because you didn't answer my question.
Okay.
My question was.
What's your question?
Anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere. We were talking Isaiah 9.
What was your question?
My question is.
What's your
there's
question?
nowhere,
Right.
apart from in Isaiah, there's nowhere
Yeah.
the word El Gibor is
Okay.
used.
Haven't you said this before?
I've said it, but you need to respond to that because
But I
that was
can't.
the
I
topic.
can't respond
So
to
then
it.
it proves the point.
So can we now move on?
So you agree with the point. I'll tell you why.
I don't concede because I don't know. I've not investigated. investigated it.
Okay, I'll give you next
Simple
week.
as that. So,
Okay.
can we now move
No,
on?
we're not moving on because I'm discussing Isaiah 9:6, and I'll tell you why it's important. I'll tell you why it's important. It's important because
Why is it
like you
important?
said, the word El Gibor
Yeah, what about it?
That is only used for Yahweh.
How do you know that?
I'm saying you can go through the Bible.
Okay.
If you don't know,
Haven't we had this conversation before?
What I find interesting is you obviously don't know.
I don't know. You're right. There are lots of things I don't know. There are lots of things I don't know.
This is a very simple Bible study method. You don't know how to study the Bible.
Okay, I don't. You're right.
Okay? And you
I
are
defer to
coming here
you.
to make points.
I defer to
No,
you.
you don't know because
I don't know, you're right.
There is something called the blue letter, the simple base of the blue letter Bible.
Okay.
The strong numbers
Haven't you said this
lexicon.
before? Haven't you said
No,
this
but
before?
How can you not know? You're coming here to
I
make
don't know.
claims towards Christianity.
I don't know.
But yeah, you
I don't
don't know
know.
how to do the basics of
I don't know. You have exposed
Then
me
you shouldn't
successfully.
make claims.
All right. Now, can we now move on to 1 Chronicles 29, where Solomon is worshipped by God?
I'm still on Isaiah 9.
So what is your point about?
What
What is your point about Isaiah 9? What's your point about Isaiah 9?
They were talking. You guys all saying Mr. Heckling. What's wrong with you? Yeah, I know what heckling is. Heckling is just interrupting, biting, and just causing problems.
So what is your point? What is your point?
This is going on right here. You guys came and started heckling.
What is your point about
You
Isaiah
know,
9?
a woman can talk for herself. So you guys came and just started trying to make her point for her.
He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't.
Yes, bro.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Yes. You guys don't. Well, where's he stopping?
What is your point?
You guys are the ones stopping the woman from talking.
What is your point?
Let me finish. Sorry.
And then I'm going to make my point again, right?
So I only came here to respond to you that Isaiah 9:6 clearly is referring to the Messiah. Okay. If you look at it,
Is that your only point?
no, that's not my point. And secondly, the point is that
Yep.
he uses words that
Yep.
describe only Yahweh.
Oh, such as what?
He uses words like El Gibor.
Algebra. You said this before, haven't you?
I've said it before.
You said
I
it
need
before.
you to repeat it.
Okay, but I can't check that because I don't know any Hebrew. Right. Okay. Now, do you have any other points you want to make?
The other point is, Shahid,
What is your
To
point?
debate him. And I said, I'm being an idiot.
Do you mind not sticking that in my
I
face?
want to give brother Paul.
Why don't you talk about Islamic economics and Christian capitalism?
Right. Can I continue? Can I say something? What is your point? What is your point? No, but what is your point?
You try and mess me up with those.
Do you mind not putting that in my ear?
That's what I'm saying, brother. Please.
Move
Move
back.
back.
You move
And I
back.
take a shot.
You move back. You're pushing in my space. You move back. Yeah. So what is your point?
So the second point is that, the second point, he uses everlasting Father.
Yeah.
Again, the Hebrew word there is Aviad, which
Ariad.
means Father of eternity,
Okay.
source of eternity.
Right.
So again, here we have this Son,
Yeah.
okay, being described by the source of eternity. Okay, and we have it, being this Son being described as El Gibor. Tell me where else? Where else?
Al Gibor, but I don't. Sorry, I didn't say this
who
before.
else is
I'll admit
described-
this. I don't know Hebrew. I know you've not. You're shocked that I don't know this. I can't tell you. I don't know Hebrew.
So show me who else, apart from the Son and Yahweh, is described as the source of eternity.
Okay.
So
Are you finished now?
That comes to the point. That makes the point that this Isaiah 9:6 is not only messianic, but it's also confirming that the Messiah is God.
Okay. Now, can you please
So
address?
can you respond to that?
Answer that, please.
Can you
respond to that?
can you address my points then about? I made a point as well. Can you now address that, please?
So, what point? So first
No,
of all,
I made a point, and now would you address it? You've reiterated your point about Isaiah 9:6. I'm now wanting to address the point I made as well, which is to do with Solomon being worshipped and sitting on the throne of Yahweh, being worshipped. Can you address that, please?
right. So I came here not to address that. I came here to respond.
No, but I'm asking you to
Isaiah
address it.
9:6.
Are you saying you're not going to
I
address
came here
it?
to address.
No, but I'm inviting you now to address other passages.
You now change the topic.
No, in addition.
You are changing the topic.
Is that wrong?
To go and, to
Is that
another
wrong?
place.
No.
No, I haven't looked at what
No,
verse what verse
is it wrong what I'm doing, asking you to look at other passages?
No, you're looking at, this is beside the point here. I am saying,
Right.
I came to respond to the fact that you were saying
but-
that
no,
Isaiah
but
9
you weren't responding to my point.
Yes, I was.
Can I explain why you weren't responding to my point? That you made a
Go
mistake.
ahead.
Because you jumped in late, you
I
weren't.
didn't jump in late, you were talking about Isaiah 9:6.
No, because you jumped in late, you weren't aware of the full content. You just came in and you just started speaking. My point was that your friend who you've never met before, although she has an excellent knowledge of your reading habits, made a claim that Jesus is worshipped as God in the book of Revelation? And I said, yeah, he is, according to Revelation. But I also said, is it not the case that many other people in the Bible are worshipped and called God? And I gave a number of examples, one of which was Isaiah 9:6. Now, I wasn't fetishizing, like we are, about this one passage alone, exclusively, and we'll not talk about anything else. It was part of a whole range of other passages in the Bible, which also have other people other than Jesus being worshipped as God. So when you refuse to address these other passages, you're not addressing my point, you're setting up your own agenda, which is completely different from the one I had with this lady who's now disappeared. So when I ask you to comment on these other passages, I'm doing what the conversation was about before you arrived and before you interrupted. So I invite you now to address the question we were discussing, not your erroneous, mistaken idea of what we're discussing. Now, is it not the case that other people are called God in the Bible and worshipped? 1 Chronicles 29, Psalm 45, verse 6 and 7, Psalm 82, and Isaiah 9:6. But these other passages you are studiously ignoring. So I'm inviting you now to, in the spirit of the conversation I was having with this lady, before you came along and interrupted, I want you now to address the question.
So in the other scripture you're referring to, you said the Hebrew word that was being used.
No, I've never mentioned a Hebrew word.
Yeah, you did. You spoke about Elohim. Did you or not?
No, I said Yahweh.
He mentioned Elohim.
No, I didn't. I said, no.
He did mention it.
Okay, in one, coming back to 1 Chronicles 29, let me show you what it says in Hebrew. Because this is a well-known point.
If you not studied these passages,
So,
rushing you to make sure that you've studied them.
So, I just want to elaborate my point. If you look at 1 Chronicles 29, it talks about the Lord. The Lord there in English is in small capital letters, which is the convention that Bible translators utilize when the Hebrew refers to Yahweh. How do I know that? Because Bruce Metzger, in the beginning of the New Standard Version, says precisely that. You can read it for yourself. So that's how they translated it. So we know this passage refers to Yahweh, uniquely Yahweh. Solomon receives worship along with Yahweh. Solomon sits on the throne of Yahweh, according to 1 Chronicles 29. My question to you is Solomon God?
There is an obvious answer to that.
Well, I don't want to hear it from you then. I want to hear it from this lady.
Why are you thinking that you want the truth? Yes. So first of all,
No, I don't want the truth. No, I want lies. I want lies. Now, can you answer my
I'm
point?
going to be honest and say to you.
You're right. I do. You're right. You're right. Answer your question now. Go away. Now, carry on.
Did I hear you?
Calm down. Let her speak. Let her speak.
He said he doesn't want truth.
I did. Right. Now I've answered your question. You can go away. Isn't that wonderful? I've satisfied your answer.
Okay, go on.
So,
I have not looked at 1 Chronicles 29. I'm going to go away.
No.
And have a look. No, I'm going to be honest.
No.
I've not looked at it. But you said something that I want.
but what about Psalm 45? Have you looked at that one?
Hold on.
Let me respond. Don't interrupt.
Let him respond.
Don't interrupt.
Who are you?
It's just a cameraman.
Yeah. Well, film and don't say anything.
I allowed you to speak.
Okay, but she just said.
No, but he's
Let him
interrupting.
respond, please.
So my point is simply, I walked into a conversation where I heard, tell me, you can go.
Will you address the passage or not?
Let me respond, please. Let me respond.
What, will you address Psalm 45, 1 Chronicles 29, Psalm 82?
She's trying to respond, but you keep talking over her.
She never responds. She never responds.
I'd like you not to. I walked into a conversation where you were saying, and you've just repeated yourself now, to say Isaiah 9:6 is not referring to the Messiah.
We're not talking about Isaiah
And you were
9:6.
saying Isaiah 9:6 is not.
We're talking about 1 Chronicles 29 now.
I am saying I've come to respond to Isaiah 9:6. Are you agreeing that Isaiah 9:6 is talking about the Messiah?
No.
And it's if you
No,
okay,
I'm not.
are you agreeing that Isaiah 9:6 is talking about someone uniquely,
No.
referring to someone?
I don't agree with anything you've said.
Okay.
Will
Then
you
need to
address
tell me
my
why.
point?
I'm saying
Will you
to
address
I've not
my
come here to
point?
address that because I have not looked into it.
Oh, what about, okay.
What do you want me to say?
Right, what about, let's look at it now, because it's not rocket science.
No, I have not looked into
Well,
it.
shall we look at it now?
Okay.
Here is a Christian Bible.
Because you
Let's
haven't
look at
finished
it now.
responding to my point in Isaiah 9:6.
I have finished.
No, you haven't. You've said I've made the point that Isaiah 9:6 refers to
No.
the Messiah.
No,
I've made the point that.
So you'll only respond when I've responded to 9:6. Is that your point? You'll only respond to these other passages. Is that what you're saying?
You keep interrupting me. Should we time this actually?
No,
Let's time it.
no.
No, because you can't keep interrupting me. I'm making. You are disagreeing with my point, and you need to tell me why.
Okay, let me explain to you why.
Isaiah 9:6. You claim to have looked into it,
I
you need to
claim.
tell- yes.
Maybe I'm lying.
So
Do you think I
need
could
to
be
show
lying?
me where else the word al-Gibor
I don't know.
is
Oh, by
used
the
to
way,
describe
folks,
anyone
I don't know
apart
any
from
Hebrew.
Yahweh.
I don't know any
Time
Hebrew.
you said it.
Haven't we said this before?
Yeah, it's just
Right.
going round.
So if you don't know, you don't understand the Bible, right?
I don't understand the Bible,
Then
no.
why are you making comments on it?
You won this argument. You won
Why
the
are you
argument.
making
You won.
comments?
I don't understand the Bible.
Yeah.
You won the
So
argument.
I'll repeat myself again and explain Isaiah 96.
She's just going to go on about El Gabor.
Paul is right when he says there are scriptures in the Bible that uses the word things like Elohim, you know, that translates to God. He uses the word both for Yahweh and for other people. He's right when he says that, give him that point. However, there are some words that are used to describe Yahweh alone. That's the point I'm saying.
Which words are those?
Like El Gibor.
Oh, by the way,
For
everyone, you
example.
don't know this, but I'm going to make it clear. I do not know Hebrew.
Why did you
Wow. Oh, hang on. Haven't I said that before?
You did, yes. I
Are you sure?
I think you
No,
did, yeah.
no. Wow, it's a bombshell.